Hey, I need to say this because the preacher's asking me, but how many of you truly believe that Jesus Christ is alive today?
Amen. Amen.
It's important for us to know and to believe that Jesus Christ is alive. In my studies this week has been mostly about the church and about the members of the church and about the disciples and the people who were there with Jesus, who walked with him, talked with him daily. And one of the things that came out of this, as I was reading, and I can't remember the man's name, but it was a story about an English or British pastor who was preparing for his sermon, and he was in his study, and he was doing what he normally does, his readings and his studyings and his writings and all that goes along with it. And he was very fundamental about his beliefs, and he knew about Jesus being crucified. He knew about the resurrection. His belief was right along with the Bible. But as he was sitting there reading and writing, it occurred to him something that he had never really thought about in the same way before. And he said he got up and he started walking around the room, repeating to himself, Christ Jesus lives. Christ Jesus lives. And he walked round and around that office, telling himself, Christ Jesus lives. And he says from that day forward, his whole approach to the gospel of Jesus Christ changed. It's important for us to believe that Jesus Christ is alive today. Amen. So important that we believe it that Christ spent a lot of time proving to people and encouraging people that he is alive after his crucifixion. I want to take a look at that this morning in the 28th chapter of Matthew is where we're going to begin. And we're going to take a look at the morning that Christ rose from the dead. The things that took place. And you say, why are we having an Easter service in September? Because we need an Easter service in September.
Amen.
Because Christ is alive. And sometimes we tend to forget that Christ is alive. We go through the Scriptures and we study about the prophecies about the Messiah, and then we study about the Messiah, and then we study about the death, the burial, and the resurrection. But when we say resurrection, we seem to think about somebody being raised up out of the grave. And I always, try to go back and talk about Lazarus being called out of the grave. But this is a little different right here, because this is one of the most important things that could have happened in the Scripture, is Jesus Christ being resurrected.
That's right.
Let me say it a different way. Is Jesus Christ being alive?
Amen.
Because if he's resurrected, he has to be alive.
Yes.
Now, Lazarus at some point in time, and I don't know if we know when, but at some point in time, Lazarus died and went on. Jesus just went on. He didn't die twice.
Right.
Let's start with the 28th chapter, verse 1. It says, in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven, and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake and become as dead men. And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified. Now the angel knew why they were there. There wasn't any doubt in the angel's mind. He was sent there to roll the stone away, not so Jesus could get out of the grave, because it was already gone, but to roll the stone away so that people could look in and see that Jesus Christ was risen, that he had been resurrected. It was a miracle to start with because of the earthquake, so people could see it. So they would know have first-hand knowledge. I went to that tomb, and I looked in that tomb, and Jesus was not there.
Right.
And he wasn't stolen, his body wasn't stolen by disciples like the Jews have repeated, like the priests and the temple guards had made up. And there's all kind of reasoning you can go behind this to prove that his body wasn't stolen. All of that's neither here nor there. What we need to believe and what we need to know for a fact in our heart is Jesus Christ is alive.
Amen.
We just sang the song. He lives, he lives. If you really and truly believe that he lives, then you must live like he lives.
Yes.
Now, continue on. The angel said, I know that you seek Jesus, which was crucified. And here's an important statement. A beginning of a gospel message, if you will, by these women, or to these women. It said, he is not here, for he is risen, as he said. If we look back in Matthew 27, verse 63, we'll read them both. 62 says, now the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, we remember that the deceiver said while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again. He said it. He said it to his disciples. He said it to the religious leaders here. He said it to just about everybody. After 3 days, I'm going to rise. I'm going to be resurrected. Death cannot keep me. The grave cannot keep me.
Yes.
I'm not going to die and go away. I'm going to be handed over to the evil men. I'm going to be lifted up. I'm going to be crucified. I'm going to die. But 3 days later, I'm coming out of that grave alive. Not coming out carried out. Not coming out toted out. I'm going to come out of that grave alive.
Yes.
It's important that he came out of that grave. And another important thing is he didn't come out of the grave by rolling the stone away. He went through it.
Hallelujah.
He ascended up out of it. There's nothing too great that he can't do.
Yes.
Because he lives. It's because he lives that we have an opportunity to live. Now I'm going to go just a little further, and this is where it comes down to you and me. This is where the leather meets the road, if you will. Because he's talking to these women. The angel is talking to these women that come to do a good deed for the body of Jesus. Knowing they had heard that he is going to rise. 3 days he's going to rise. They knew that. The disciples had heard it. They knew that. But they're all sitting in a room, afraid of the Jews, not knowing what to expect. And these women got up early. And when I say early, I'm talking about early. Like at daylight or before. And they went to do what they were going to do. And they had a discussion on the way. Well, how are we going to get in? You know, the soldiers have put this rock up there, and they've sealed this thing, and they've placed guards, and we're just too living. What are we going to do? How are we going to get in? God took care of all that. They did what they were supposed to do. They got up, and they went to that tomb. And when they got there, they were able to see inside.
Amen.
The grave clothes laid, and they were sitting there looking at the evidence of a risen Savior. Now, as I said, this is where the leather meets the road right here. In verse 6, we'll start again. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come, see the place where the Lord lay. This is important. This is very important. The angel said, I want you to come and look inside. I want you to see for yourself where Jesus lay. I want you to see that he is not in here. The grave clothes are in here, but he's not here. He's not here at all. That's the invitation, people. Come and see. That's an invitation to believers. Now, these were believers. These was two of his believers right here. But their belief had been kind of downtrodden with the crucifixion of Jesus. They still were believers. But they had questions. They had doubts. They had fears. the angel says, come and see. Come inside. Look. And then what? The next thing he tells us, after we come and see, we come and we come to the church and we study and we worship and we have Sunday school, which if you weren't in Sunday school this morning, you missed a very good lesson.
That's right.
A very good lesson on being called to duty and doing your duty. Okay? Talked about how reluctant people are when they hear the call of Christ. Right here, these two women heard the calling. It was sent through an angel. It says, come and see. We do that. We come and see. And then the next part is the part that we tend to forget. He says, come, see the place where the Lord lay. And then he said, go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. And behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall you see him. Lo, I have told you.
Amen.
He said, come and see. And after you've seen, go and tell.
Amen.
We come and see. But sometimes we forget to go and tell.
That's right.
Amen.
That's exactly right.
You know, the pastor's job, as I understand it, is to lead the flock. He's supposed to come and see, and he's supposed to go and tell. He's also supposed to encourage his congregation to come and see
Yes.
and go and tell.
Amen.
The scriptures are full of come and see, go and tell. We like to come and see, but sometimes we don't like to go and tell.
Amen. That's right.
It's like Moses in our Sunday school lesson this morning, in the burning bush. He had to go see, and when he went to see, Jesus told him to go and serve. God told him, go and tell. Well, he liked to come and see. He wasn't too sure about to go and tell. Made all kinds of excuses. Why I can't go and tell? You have no excuses. If you have come and seen the grace of God, it's your responsibility to go and tell others. Verse 8 says, and they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. They didn't discuss it. They didn't talk about it. The angel said, come and see. And he said, go and tell. It says that they departed quickly. I believe it used the word ran, did it not? Let's see here. And with great fear and joy, and did run to the disciples. They ran to tell. They ran to tell.
That's right.
After they told, you know what happened? The disciples ran to see. But they ran to tell. And I can tell you what they're telling. When they go to tell the disciples, they're going to tell them all of the things that happened, but the message that they're telling them is, he's alive.
Amen.
He's alive. The message, he's alive, changed the disciples from sitting in the room. We don't know what room they were in. Maybe they were in the upper room where they had the feast, but we don't know. But they were in a room, and it changed the sitting in a room waiting to see to the running to go and tell what they knew for a fact. Now they came to we could go on and on. They came to the grave and they looked in, and they seen the grave closed. And you know, later on Jesus appeared to them. I want to get to this part where he appeared to these women. Don't you think it's kind of curious that the first people to the grave were the women, they were also the last to leave? Has it ever occurred to you that the first message that the disciple got after the crucifixion was from these women? Do you see what I'm trying to say? You've got believers encouraging believers. And when believers encourage believers and they believe the same thing, that Christ is risen from the dead, then what happened? They went and they told them. Praise God. He says in verse 9, and as they went to tell the disciples, Jesus met them, saying, all hail. And they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Then said Jesus unto them, be not afraid. Go and tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me. That's the second time we've seen the word fear. Jesus was crucified, and the believers were in fear. The angel says, don't fear. Jesus says, don't fear. Go and tell. Now, they went and they told them. You want to know what the part of the sad part was? When they told the story about the grave and they told the event about meeting Jesus on the way, the disciples didn't believe. They questioned, how could this be? If you go over to Mark and look at Mark, it says that when Jesus appeared to the disciples, to the group of disciples, it said he upbraided them for their unbelief. We believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
That's right.
We believe that he was crucified. And on Easter Sunday, we come in here and we sing praises. Up from the grave he arose. We sing, he lives, he lives. Christ Jesus lives today. And then 2 months later, we're back to the crucified Jesus. Jesus was crucified once. Let's not crucify him over and over and over.
Amen.
He lives. Let's live and let's work and let's spread the good news that he lives. I say let's because Jesus sent these 2 women to a group of men to tell them he's going to, where to go and they will see him there. They went back and said, Jesus is alive. And he sent you a message. He said, won't you go down to Galilee and you'll see him there. Jesus sees him there. And he questions them about their unbelief. And then he does something for them. He sees them fill out. No thing. We have a responsibility as believers. If indeed we are believers, we have a responsibility to go and tell. You say, well, I don't know enough about God's Word to go and tell. Okay, let me ask you something. Whose fault is that? Kind of puts accountability in it, don't it? Well, I don't have, what was it Moses said? I can't speak in front of people. He said so much God gave him a mouth. You go tell him. And I'll put it in your ear, you tell him, he'll tell him. If you can't speak, find somebody to go with you that can speak.
That's right.
But get the message out. He lives. Because if we don't tell the world he lives, the world thinks he's dead.
That's right.
You see, there's a responsibility to Christianity. We talk about how we should live. We talk about how we should work. We talk about how we should give. We talk about all of the things that we shouldn't do, and we leave out the He Lives message. That's a crying shame. You say, well, maybe we don't do that. Yeah, we do it. I do it, you do it, we all do it. I mean, the truth hurts, but the truth is the truth. We need to stop. Maybe we need to come see. You know, we have our salvation as sealed. Sometimes you need some reassurance. Come and see that Jesus will. Just like that minister that was prepared and sermon. Fundamentally correct. But as he wrote it down, realized Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Maybe it's time that we fully understand and realize and put our faith in the fact that Jesus Christ lives. I told a young man one time, you can't go wrong doing the right thing. And you can't go wrong proclaiming that Jesus Christ lives because it's a fact. It's a fact. It's so important that we know that Jesus lives. The angels told the women met Jesus. Jesus showed the women. The women went and told the disciples. The disciples came and saw. Jesus appeared to the disciples and he showed the disciples. One of them wasn't there. So in a later date, he come back and showed himself to them again. And got that one that says, okay, he said, you're not going to believe unless you can see it and touch it. Here I am. Come see it and touch it. Let's get this behind us so we can go and tell. If there's something wrong with your belief, let's get that behind us. And let's go and spread the gospel message of Jesus. And the message is, He died for our sins, but now He lives.
Amen.
That's my goal for the new church year that's coming up, is to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. And the gospel being, He lives.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I can't make that goal without your help. Somebody's got to go tell. And that somebody's you.
That's right.
And that somebody's all the other people that's not here this morning.
Amen.
The members of this church, the believers, those who truly believe that Jesus lives, will go this year and they'll spread the gospel.
Amen.
Jesus lives.
Yes.
They may go in fear like these two women did, but they'll go. We have nothing to fear. Don't you understand that Jesus can come up out of that grave? If He can walk through those closed doors to meet with His disciples, if He can repeat what Thomas said in private, not to him, and he didn't hear it anywhere else in here, if He can ascend to the Father, and if He has the ultimate power over God's creation, what have we got to fear in the Word of God? You know what we fear? Talked about it in Sunday school this morning. Sometimes we fear failure, and sometimes we fear success. I made a statement in Sunday school this morning, and I said, if you go do what God told you to do, you're successful. Doesn't matter what the outcome is, you go do it. If we go out and tell, and I'm going to throw a big number out there, okay? I'm going to throw one that's just going to cross your eyes. If we go out and tell 1 million people in the state of Alabama that Jesus lives, we can't save not one of them, but God can. He can save a million of them. It's not our job to save, not our job to judge. It's our job to come and see and go and tell.
Yes.
That's right.
That's what I expect. That's what I hope to accomplish. And that's what I think we're going to see in the upcoming years. To go and take. Started off with believers encouraging believers. Encourage each other. Go out with the gospel. Share a little interesting bit of fact that I learned in my study that I never thought of this way before, but I think the man that made the statement was absolutely correct. You know, the Scripture tells us that the guards and the chief priests already fabricated this story that the disciples come and stole Jesus' body by night. To start with, the disciples was held up in a room. They were afraid of Jews. They were afraid of what might happen even if they had the idea. If they had went and took over the guards and rolled that stone away and broke that Roman seal, that probably would have been death for them. They wasn't going to do that. So that kind of does away with that story. So the next suggestion is that the guards and the priests moved the body. Well, that would be against what they wanted to happen. They wanted him to be dead. So why would they give any evidence that he was alive? So it brings us to the conclusion of this. The only way that body got out of that grave was he got up and walked out.
Exactly right.
God raised him from the dead. He said from the beginning, I have the power to lay my life down and I have the power to take it back. He's showed you that power. And if we need scientific proof, I'm sure that somehow or another we can come up with scientific proof. But remember this. He told Thomas, you believe because you've seen. Blessed are those who have not seen but yet believe.
That's right.
You want to be blessed? Put your faith in Jesus Christ.
Yes, Lord.
Come and see and go and take.
Amen.
That's what's required of you as a Christian.